2020 was an interesting year. Not just for movies and controversial stuff, but for video games as well. There were a lot of games to keep people occupied during 2020 when we were all stuck at home. So today I'm counting down my picks for my top 10 favorite games of 2020. Now, you're not going to agree with everything on this list, okay? This is my own list. Your list is going to be different from mine. We all have different tastes in what we like in gaming. And so I just hope you enjoy this list, and let's have some little fun here and see what games made it to my list, okay? Now, just a reminder, I'm not going to be including games like Persona 5 Royal, mainly because that's basically the same game of the 2017 game, just with added features, added content, and not really changing anything up with the style, and plus it really wouldn't be too fair. I want to give other games on here a chance, so yeah, but there is going to be a remake on this list. Besides Final Fantasy VII, that will be on here. You're probably going to be a bit confused, but I'll explain more when we get to that. Also, I was thinking about playing Cyberpunk 2077 before, but I'm not really sure if it would even make this list because of how, you know, it's still extremely glitchy right now. So I decided to just pass and I mean, I played enough games already, so that's good enough for me. So yeah, here are my top 10 favorite games of the year. Before I get into it, I have some honorable mentions I want to shout out, which include Paper Mario, The Origami King, Crash Bandicoot 4, Dreams, and Neo 2. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Oh yeah, and one more thing. If you're confused about why this game is higher or why this is lower, why is this 4 game I gave 4 out of 5 lower than this game, or higher than this game I gave 4.5 out of 5, it's just how I personally feel they should be added on this list. So just don't take it too serious, okay? Even though these are my picks, but yeah, let's get into it now. Coming in at my number 10 spot, I have Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. It's mainly on this list because, you know, I'm a diehard fan of the Zelda series, and I absolutely love Breath of the Wild. So basically, this is pretty much a love letter to what made Breath of the Wild so great. I mean, just with, you know, the fact that it's basically a reskin of Dynasty Warriors, just like Hyrule Warriors 1 was. But to me, this was everything that was great about the original game, and cranked it up to, like, well, not too high, but I mean, it still has you know, the same combat and style, but you know, for the most part, I had so much fun, and I feel like it was a lot more cinematic than Hyrule Warriors 1. This was simply a really great time, and if you're a fan of Breath of the Wild, I recommend giving this game a go. Coming in at my number 9 spot, we have a very short game, but still a lot of fun. Spider-Man Miles Morales, okay? Spider-Man Miles Morales might not have been as good as the first Spider-Man game, but to me, Spider-Man Miles Morales was a really great game for Miles Morales himself, okay? It's a great launch title for the PS5. It was a lot of fun playing as Miles Morales with all the new powers he has, and, you know, with the Venom punches and stuff. You can see more in my review of the game. I found it to be a very entertaining game, and with how short it was, I was able to 100% everything in the game, meaning I got my Platinum Trophy, which definitely paid off for me. At my number 8 spot, I have Final Fantasy VII Remake. Some people might put this game a little bit higher. I thought this was a great game, but I don't think this is a perfect game. Some of the side quests are mostly just fetch quests and don't really add much to the story. Also, this is pretty much just the first act of the original Final Fantasy VII, so there's like 2 more parts that they have to do. If they make those soon, then this probably would have been higher on my list. But yeah, but all in all, this is still a great remake, okay? The combat in this game is near perfect with the hack and slash combat. The fact that you can play as multiple different characters when you're fighting your way against enemies. The gorgeous style of the look make the characters a lot more interesting and more fleshed out. So Final Fantasy VII Remake was still a fantastic game, and I can still say it's probably one of the best video game remakes of all time. Coming in at my number 7 spot, you're probably going to be a bit confused for multiple reasons. Demon's Souls is at number 7. Now, yes, I'm aware. This is a remake of a 2009 game. How come this is on the list but Persona 5 Royal isn't? Well, I never played the original Demon's Souls, so it's basically new for me since I never fully played it. I know that's kind of being biased here, but hey, there are other reasons, okay? There are some new features, and the graphics are far more different, and the textures are more different than in the original version. Also, yes, I did give this game a perfect score, but since it is a remake, I'm not going to put it very much higher on the list. If it was technically a brand new game that we never saw before, not being a remake of anything, then it probably would have made the top spot. But Demon Souls Remake is everything a remake should be. Like I saw differences between the Demon Souls original game and this game, and yeah, the challenge is still there. Blue Point has not changed a single thing about this game, other than some added new features and some more challenges for people out there. And the game adds so much replayability, and this is one that I truly recommend getting if you don't have a PS5 yet. This is truly the best game to play for the system by far. At number 6, I have, of course, Animal Crossing New Horizons, the game that saved everybody from the pandemic while we were all stuck at home doing nothing. We have this game to thank. I know some people probably would have put this game higher, but since this is my first Animal Crossing game, and I'm more focused on action-based combat, this is why the game isn't fully higher on the list. But hey, I spent so many hours with the game that I can definitely say that it took up a lot of my time, okay? It's a very colorful game, and the fact that you can play with others in their different islands and stuff, you can customize your island, it was so much fun to do, surprisingly. And I'm not really one for life simulation that much, but after playing this game, I tried out games like Stardew Valley, which is kind of like a successor to the Harvest Moon series. So yeah, I'm really getting into these types of games, and yeah, it's definitely probably the best time waster of 2020, but one that definitely pays off. At my number 5 spot, this has basically become a meme since it came out the same day as Animal Crossing, but since I prefer combat, like I mentioned before, this is why it's a little bit higher than that game, of course, Doom Eternal. This is everything that made the first Doom reboot game great, cranked it up to 11 with brand new level design and a much improved multiplayer system. New abilities you can do, like the meat hook. You can grapple on enemies and shoot them down. And while some of the new enemies can be a real pain to deal with, like those ones that are really hard to kill, like you can't kill them until a certain part, but hey, Doom Eternal still has a lot to offer, okay? The battle mode is fun as hell. It's so satisfying as ever to kill these enemies, and with Bethesda having a hard time trying to make good games now, it could have been a terrible time. I mean, Wolfenstein Youngblood wasn't anything good, but hey, they managed to pull it off, maybe even being a bit better than the first game. I mean, it improved on so much that I just had so much fun with this game. Like, if you're a fan, pick this up, man. It's totally worth it. At my number 4 spot is a game that I should have played a long time ago. I am so glad there's a sequel to this, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. This is one of the games that really hit me the most this year. I'm a big fan of 2D Metroidvania style games, and this is by far one of the best looking yet, though it doesn't run as well as I hoped on PC or Xbox One. This is still a fantastic experience for me. I spent so many hours exploring the different areas in the world. I thought the combat was a lot more improved than in the first game, and the new characters we get to see, and the music, and it just adds so much to the game, and I spent so much time with it, and it was a shame when the game had to end for me. Like, It truly was a fantastic game, and it's one you definitely need to play if you're a fan of the first game. It's also out for a Nintendo Switch if you don't have an Xbox, so I recommend getting that. So yeah, there's no excuse not to play it now. At number 3, I have Sucker Punch at their very finest, Ghost of Tsushima. Oh my god, what an epic samurai game this was. A large open world, tons of stuff to do. This is simply an addictive PS4 exclusive that will keep players hours upon hours on edge before completing the game. The game adds so much replayability. It's basically Sekiro mixed with a little bit of Assassin's Creed, and the RPG elements I thought worked really well, and the new mechanics they added, like the way it shows you where you go to your next destination, is truly outstanding. Some people thought this should have won Game of the Year. While I do think it's a fantastic game, there were just 2 other games that I enjoyed a bit more, but for this being one of the last PlayStation 4 exclusives out there, I think they definitely knocked it out of the park with this one. It's a gorgeous experience with memorable characters, a really engaging storyline. It's truly one of the best PlayStation 4 exclusives, and if I had to remake my PlayStation 4 exclusive top 10 list, then this would definitely be up there. Coming at my number 2 spot is a game I really wanted to try finishing before making this list, but I didn't really have much time since there was others that I wanted to play as well. and that's Hades, okay? Some of you probably never heard of this game, and that's really a shame because it's actually one of the most talked about games of this year. It's a hack and slash RPG-ish type game where you're going to die so many times, basically replaying the same thing. But that's okay because that's supposed to happen, as every time you die, characters have new things to say, and it makes the game far more interesting and far more appealing to me. And it has a surprisingly engaging storyline with tons of memorable characters, hilarious dialogue, and it's truly a game that I feel like most Nintendo Switch owners should check out when it comes to indie games. It's also available on PC. It's a game that was available for early access, and it's early access done right, because this game, to me, it truly is how you should make an early access game. It's totally worth the $25, and it's my pick for best indie game of 2020. Alright, okay. So yes, this is number 1, okay? You're probably going to thumbs down the video, you're probably going to say, why is this at number 1? You're an idiot, unsubscribe. But you know what? It's my list, and I can do what I want. Last of Us Part 2 is my pick for Game of the Year. Hell, it won Game of the Year at the Game of the Year Awards, and I still think it deserves it. I know a lot of people are really pissed off about that, but you know what? It really shouldn't matter at this point. I mean, hell, okay, so I did mention that I didn't like it as much as the first game. Yes, I did not like how Joel died in the game. Yes, I do feel that it's a bit strange playing as the character that killed Joel, but I could see where they were going with that, and I kind of feel that it did work. I'm not saying that Joel died. I miss Joel. I'll always miss Joel, but there's still a lot that I loved about this game. The new characters, I found most of them to be very interesting and very appealing for the most part. And in fact, after playing the game, it got better for me over time, the more I thought about it. It's definitely not as replayable as the first game. It definitely feels a lot more depressing than in the first game, and there was a lot of really depressing stuff. But for me, if I didn't care that Joel died in the game, then I would have never felt anything, and I would have not... the game would have never had me caring that, you know, some amazing characters just die in this series. Like, it left me emotionally invested, and, oh my god, that last act. Oh, definitely seeing what they're gonna do next, okay? And I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do next. It's a very dark and brutal game, but it might be a controversial pick, and whether you love it or hate it, I personally love it. It might not be a perfect game, but it's my pick for Game of the Year, and I'm sorry, but it's just my choice. So, you can hate on me all you want, but it's just how I feel. Alright guys, that was my top 10 list for my favorite games of 2020. Let me know what your favorite games were down in the comments below. So yeah, you can look at my reviews for some of these games on my channel if you look at my playlist. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll do my best movies of the year list sometime in February, like I mentioned in my Chat with Matt videos. So yeah, just be patient, and I'll have that out when I get to it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.